Hello, everyone. I hope everybody's having a good day. And we've been, well, the boys, they've been in a lot of hay. My tractor's down. The one I used to bale hay anyway. We got this one back, and the other one going to have to go to the shop. Got to have a blower motor put in the air conditioner. But we've been using the new tractors to bale hay with. I think got about 70 acres down, and getting that done. So, you know, the Lord provides, I reckon. One goes down, and thank God we got more tractors to get our work done. A lot of things going on in this, and I mean, it's just shootings, bombings, more ICE protests in New Jersey, another illegal criminal let out in Northern Virginia, and he turns around and rapes a woman again, and been arrested. I think they said 40 to 50 times. A bus wreck in Northern Virginia, killing a bunch of people. The guy was a U.S. citizen, but he was from China, and he couldn't speak English. So how do you get a CDL and you can't speak English and you can't read English? How did you pass the citizenship test if you can't speak and read English? Our country has been stripped away from us little by little, and we're letting it happen, people. We're going to have to take a stand in this country. I mean, it's either going to be at the voting box, or we're going to have to take it over by hand. It's a coming down to it. These Democrats, these rhinos are not letting up. These big corporations are spending billions and billions of dollars, a lot of them overseas. China owns a lot of farmland. We're being destroyed. And I agree that something had to be done with Iran. We couldn't let them have a nuclear weapon. But President Trump's going to have to either shit or get off the pot. Either you make a deal or you blow them off the face of the earth. They come out today and bragging about how good the stock market is. That's well and fine. But Main Street's got to live too. Grocery prices up, high fuel prices, fertilizer prices. We got to live too. Then you've got the screw worm, is first across the border in the United States. I think it's about 40 miles from the Mexico border. I can't remember what county that was in, and the market took a little nosedive, but I think it's done pretty good today. You got the packers. I mean, the beef farmer gets the blame for the high beef prices, but it's not us, it's the packers. You got 4 big major companies all controlling, and you even got the National Cattle Beef Association right in there with them. The people that's supposed to fight for us is fighting against us. So I'll be honest. Sometimes it gets disheartened, but then you got to think, you got to have your faith, keep your faith in God, and God is good. And I'm a sinner. My downfall is my temper, and I have to ask forgiveness a lot because sometimes I just have a meltdown and I cuss like a sailor, and I'm just telling you the truth. But I have to ask forgiveness, but mostly daily, because of the stuff that's going on in our country. Our politicians are corrupt. They're on the take. The one that you think is good turns out to be bad. Tim Burgess out of Tennessee is showing up, a lot of them. And we're blinded, people, by R and D. You know, we're going to have to get back to America. America first. No matter what they've got in front of or behind their name or in front of their name, whatever, a Republican, Democrat, Independent. We're going to have to get back to conservative values in this country. The Democratic Party's gone crazy. They've gone communist, Marxist. I mean, people forget during the pandemic, all the stuff, the lies, the stuff was done to the American people. And the old jab is showing up that it's showing up to be harmful, that people has took it with diseases are coming up on them and a dying. And it's right on, and people seem to forget about being locked down. And, you know, the politicians are getting to go and do what they want, not wearing a mask. You know, they was allowed to riot in the streets, you know, but you couldn't go to church. They had people in the health departments that got their first taste of power that would go break up maybe a little meetings if people got together to have a prayer meeting. Somebody would call, well, there are 10 of them gathered up. I mean, here I've heard tell, here come the law in the health department during that time. It's up to us, people, to stand up. It always has been. But we're going to stand up in numbers. I mean, we're going to have to stand up in big numbers to take this country back and put down this communism, Marxist, ismness, or we're going to lose our country. We're not going to have the next generation for our kids and grandkids if we don't do something. You know, hopefully we can get good candidates and take our country back through elections. But I'm afraid that it's going to come down to the regular citizen having to stand up and take it back. I think they're forcing it. I think that's what they want. With the rhetoric, I mean, this guy Plattner up there, and I think it's in Maine, is it? Who's a Nazi and a sexist. I mean, he just, and the Democratic Party are standing, a lot of them firm behind him, and then they call the rest of us racists and Nazis, and they're actually they're supporting that guy. The Democratic Party is trying so hard to turn this country into a communist and a socialist country. And they've got a generation brainwashed, indoctrinized into taking to the streets. They stand up on the halls of Congress where they're safe and they can speak anything they want to speak and not be held accountable. And they send their minions out on the streets to protest. And come to find out, here this week, the Democratic Party is funding it. The Southern Law I mean, who's supposed to fight racism was a pan to stir up racism. I mean, Southern Law Party of Justice or whatever that is there, you know, they've been caught big time in agitating all this stuff. You know, if people wasn't racist, they're going to make you racist. They want to pit everybody against each other, and then they take over. Sort of like the mullahs did in Iran. They come in there and use the minority party to take over and overrun that country. When they took over, they killed the people that helped them. That's what the Islamists have got planned for this country. You know, they're going to use the Democrats. They're going to use these brainwashed kids to come in and take over, and they're going to get rid of Christians and Jews and infidels unless you convert to Islam. For the Quran absolutely states in that they're allowed to lie, kill, and murder. And I've said it for several times, and that's what it is. That's what they say. They're allowed to lie, and murder. And basically, they're allowed to lie, cheat, steal, do anything they can to take over a country. And when they take it over, they'll get rid of the infidel, the Jew, and the Christian, unless you convert. Can you believe these gay organizations defending Muslims when in their religion they're abomination and to be destroyed? You can't make this stuff up. We're in so much trouble in this country, people don't realize it. I mean, I don't care if anybody really watches or not, as long as I can get out there and maybe get one or two to recognize what's going on and spread the word. Talk to your children and grandchildren, talk to your neighbors, and get a conversation started at the grocery store or wherever. We've got to take this country back. I support President Trump and his policies, but he's going to have to get down on Main Street and help the regular folk. Or he may find himself a lame duck. Because I think people's about had it. It's time for Main Street to take a little instead of Wall Street. But that's just my rant for the day. I'm going to thank everybody for watching, and wasn't too good a video today, but it's just what I had on my mind this evening. And I'm tired, and I'm going to go get me some supper and a shower. I've got to feed my dog first thing, then get in there and eat supper and take a shower and just call it a day. Good Lord willing, I'll see you guys next time. God bless each and every one of you. And again, thanks for watching. God bless.